From the City of Angels near the Pacific Ocean, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be across the nation, around the world. I'm George Norrie, and this is Coast to Coast AM. And welcome back to Coast to Coast. George Norrie with you. Doc Wallach back with us. He and pharmacist Ben Fuchs rotate every 3 weeks to come on the program. Doc's research has resulted in the publication of a number of peer-reviewed and refereed journal articles in the fields of nutrition and pharmaceutical research. He's a noted author as well. Doc Wallach back on Coast to Coast. Hey, Doc, how are you?
Okay, George. Thank you so much for you and your team. You guys and gals are the greatest. We just love you, appreciate you, and have high regards.
Can't believe we're into March already. Where's the time going?
Well, when you're busy, time goes fast.
It's true. It's true. Does it also go fast when you get older?
No, it goes slower when you get older. Because when you're older, you tend not to be busy.
Slow it down, Doc. Slow it down, right? My gosh.
Well, you have to make sure you're taking care of everything. That's why we're here to speak with you and your people. When you take good care of yourself, you can add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. You know, when you look at the news as often as you and I do, you see these young athletes every week. They're 20, 30, 40 years old. They're dying. You know, they went to a practice. They played a great weekend game, and then they go home, take a shower, and die. Okay? And this has been going on and getting worse and worse and worse. Average life expectancy now, George, of professional athletes in America is 56.7.
That's it?
That's it.
My gosh. What's happening to them? Well,
what's happening is they sweat and they work out and they exercise, but they don't take the 90 essential nutrients. When you sweat, you're sweating out a soup of all these nutrients. If you're just drinking water to rehydrate or these soft drinks to rehydrate, you're getting into the negative because they think hydration is it. No, you need the nutrients you're sweating out, and that's where the fallacy and the fault comes in. This is something, of course, I wrestled and played football, did track when I was in junior high and high school and university, and so I really learned about doing the nutrients, and of course, I'm the guy that found the cause of the birth defect. Let's see here. Well, what was one of Jerry Lewis? We're talking about
muscular dystrophy.
Muscular dystrophy. Yeah, I got rid of muscular dystrophy. I got rid of sudden death syndrome, and doctors were saying that the mothers were laying on the babies and suffocating them. They said that for years and years and years. It was just simple nutritional deficiency, and and so it's one of those things where the birth defects where they cause sudden death in these babies, just simple nutritional deficiencies, and doctors are blaming it on genetics. When I said it wasn't a genetic disease, I was working for the Yerkes Primate Center in NASA at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, and they fired me because I said it wasn't genetic. And that's when I went back to school and became a physician and and I realized I had to get the information out there because just, setting up a practice and opening the door, you see, 15, 20 patients a day, and that wasn't making much of a positive impact. So that's how I got into media and radio and newspapers and giving lectures all around the world.
Well, you made a big difference. I've been getting a flood of emails, and also I wanted to ask you about, there's a big story this week about the keto diet could cause low blood pressure, kidney stones, all kinds of deficiencies. Have you been following that story yet?
Well, yes, I have, and of course, they've got it half right and half wrong. That's pretty typical. Keto diet is fine, but we're talking about you're dealing, and we actually have a keto shake we sell for one meal a day. So, it's a meal replacer. It's not to be taken on top of a meal. And our customers will lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. I have so many thousands of people each month that lose something like 15, 20 pounds a month. Okay, just taking that one meal a day. It's a meal replacer. It's not to be added to a meal. We come in chocolate and strawberry. And I figured out the cause of people being overweight and obese. And they have a behavior called pica, P-I-C-A, which is caused by a mineral deficiency. When you take the minerals, that goes away. And you say, well, George, why are you leaving all your food on the table? I don't know. I used to be able to eat that in 3 seconds. I'm not even interested in it now when you're taking the minerals. And so this is how we have been able to help so many thousands of people. And, one of the great people that you and I both know, Becca, she lost about 120 pounds on our program. And
yeah, she did a remarkable job, didn't she?
Yeah, and she has turned out to just be a blessing. She has gotten the message out there to literally thousands of people every day, and so we can't thank her enough. And for I know she's one of your great partners and one of our great partners, and so we'll have great stories with her on a regular basis.
She does well for us, that's for sure. Email in from Nicole. She wants to know, Doc, what are the best supplements for memory loss?
Okay, well, that's very interesting. Memory loss, the first thing you have to do is eat 3 eggs twice a day and take, 3 eggs twice a day with soft yolks. They have to be soft-boiled, soft-poached, soft scrambled butter, and then take our I-26. It says right on the label, gives you 25% of your daily requirement of cholesterol. What? Now, this flies in the face of everything the medical profession says, but they made a huge mistake 100 years ago, George, when they said cholesterol is the cause of plaque in your arteries and blocking your coronary arteries.
Well, they're still saying that.
Yes. Well, it's absolutely 1,000% incorrect. Cholesterol makes up 25% of your brain weight, makes up 25% of your spinal cord weight, and when you're taking statin drugs to lower cholesterol, you wind up like Bruce Willis. You wind up with FTD, frontal temporal dementia, okay, which the white matter of the brain goes away. If you take an X-ray of the skull, you just see a big black hole. But if you use an MRI, okay, magnetic resonance imaging, you can actually see the brain like a picture, okay? You can see it's all shriveled up like a raisin because they've been on this statin drugs, lower cholesterol.
Can it come back?
Oh, yeah. We hope that we can find somebody, maybe yourself, who has connection with Bruce Willis's family, and let us talk with them, because we can bring Bruce back in less than 90 days, maybe 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks. We can bring him back very quickly.
Well, maybe they're listening in. We don't know anybody with him, but who knows?
Who knows? Maybe they're listening to your show tonight.
They could be. But
that's an easy one. To get to Alzheimer's disease, that's an easy one. I don't care how long you've had it. Same way with MS, multiple sclerosis. Guillain-Barré syndrome is multiple sclerosis of the spinal cord. The white matter of the brain is going away because they're avoiding eggs and they're avoiding red meat and they're doing the cholesterol lowering drugs, the statin drugs. And initially, they feel pretty good about it. But after a couple of months or a year, suddenly now they can't remember their own name. And suddenly now they can't drive the car. Suddenly now they don't even know where they live.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. But we can bring them all back. We've been doing it for a long time. And so, we have many products that deals with this. And so we have programs, Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, Memory FX. We have Synaptive, which is a product that helps the brain cells talk to each other. And they eat their eggs, 3 eggs twice a day. I've been doing this for 75 years, George. Okay, I'm much older than I look. In a couple of months, 2 months here, I'm going to be 84 years old.
Yeah, your birthday's on the same day mine is, isn't it? June 4.
Yeah, June 4th. There you go. Absolutely.
I'm a little younger than you.
But you're a little younger than me. But it's one of those things where this is very simple stuff. Very simple stuff. And I do have a new book out. It's called The Wallach Revolution. The Wallach Revolution. It's a 75 trail of all the great discoveries we've made that fly in the face of historical medical stuff. We have very famous people like Pat Boone. Let's see here.
Just had a lunch with Pat Boone. He looks great. He's going to be 89.
Yeah, and of course he wrote this. He wrote the foreword to this new book.
Oh, that's great.
Because he was supposed to have a double knee replacement because he had bone-to-bone arthritis. And I said, Pat, give me 90 days. Well, in 2 weeks' time, all the pain was gone. In 4 weeks' time, we had regrown all his knee cartilage and everything, and he still has his own knees because he still uses our products. Same way with, let's see here, Andy Young, who was an ambassador to the United Nations,
yes,
United States,
that's
and also
right,
the mayor of Atlanta and so forth. He was scheduled for a double knee replacement. We rebuilt him, and Danny Glover.
Why are so many people getting their hips replaced, Doc?
Because doctors have kids in college and tuition is due.
All about money?
All about money. Give me 90 days, I'll regrow every hip, every knee, every ankle, every wrist, just like with Theo Ratliff. He was 24 years old. He had a $30 million contract with the Atlanta Hawks. And he lost that because he had bone-to-bone arthritis in both knees. Ouch. The cartilage slipped off his hips. He had a fracture of his wrist. And I came up with our first specific nutritional formula for a disease. We called it Healthy Bone and Joint Pack for him. And in 2 weeks' time, his pain is gone. In 4 weeks' time, he gets another job. He played basketball professionally for 11 years, made $100 million. Do you think Theo is happy about that? Absolutely. And same way with Evander Holyfield. Great boxer, right?
Sure.
Evander Holyfield? Okay, well, he lost his heavyweight championship to Michael Moore because he had a heart attack in a 12-round fight. He had a heart attack during the break after the 11th round, and he nearly died, and he obviously couldn't answer the bell for the 12th round, so he lost his heavyweight championship by default. So he came out with the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack for Evander Holyfield, got him going on it. 9 months later, he comes back, and he destroys Mike Tyson and gets his championship back.
After a heart issue?
Yeah, from a near-fatal heart attack. He comes back, and he nearly destroys Mike Tyson, whose arms were hanging down to the side, and he's just standing there just beating him up. And the referees jumped in, ran in there, and stopped the fight in the 6th round because Evander Holyfield had destroyed Mike Tyson after a heart attack.
Doc Wallach with us from criticalhealthnews.com. The toll-free number to call is 1-800-949-7234. We will be back to start your calls, and then we'll do it next hour, too. And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you. Doc Wallach with us. We'll begin your calls, and we'll do it next hour as well. The website to go to, criticalhealthnews.com. Great information. I spent about a half hour yesterday, Doc, just looking at the new stuff that is posted on the website. And JC, our webmaster there, does a great job, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. We're very, very proud.
Good person. And the toll-free number to call when Doc talks, they're taking notes. In case you miss it, you can call this number, 1-855-949-7234, 1-855-949-RADIO. Let us begin by going to Lisa in Stanton, California, west of the Rockies. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. Hi, George. Hi, Doc Wallach.
Hi.
I'm very happy to talk to you. I can't say enough about these vitamins. I feel absolutely great. I've been using them since December. I have lost a total of 20 pounds. I have to buy a new wardrobe because nothing fits. And my A1C has gone down, and for the first time since 2011, I finally got a thing from the doctor saying that my diabetes is under control.
Good for you. What was it that finally got you to say, I'm going to start doing something about this?
Because I got really sick in December, and I was going to the doctors, and when I went to the doctor told me, you know what, we've done all we can for you. We can't do any more. And that's when I ordered the vitamins, and I got well, and it's been great ever since.
Good for you. Do you have a question for Doc?
Yes, I would like to ask him about vertigo. I'm not suffering from it, but my sister is, and I wanted some information on that as to what she can take for that.
Vertigo, Doc, what do you think?
Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations on getting rid of your diabetes. Is very easy. Type 2 diabetes makes up 98% of the diabetic population. It's a simple nutritional deficiency disease. It's not genetic, not autoimmune. And you get on our program for diabetes, as you say, within a couple of weeks it's under control. Within a month or so it's gone. And as long as you stay in the program, it's gone. Okay? Mm-hmm. Now, you say your sister, how old is your sister?
She is in her 50s.
Okay. Now, there's a couple of questions we need to ask here. Tinnitus, you say ringing in the ears, tinnitus, or balance problems, or both, or
vertigo.
Vertigo. Okay, vertigo is balance problems. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve being squeezed by the skull, causing that. Very, very common. I actually have a book out. It's called "It's All in Your Head." Covers 37 different diseases you get when you get osteoporosis of the skull. Doctors know nothing about osteoporosis of the skull. So, quick question. You need to ask your sister how many times she gets up at night to urinate. Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. And so that's a question you need to ask. If it's a guy, the doctors are going to do a prostate test on them, see if they have prostate cancer. But women don't have prostates, so the doctors just scratch their head and say, I don't know why you're getting up 5 times a night to urinate, because they don't know about osteoporosis of the skull. When you get osteoporosis of your knees, they do a double knee transplant. You get osteoporosis of your hips, they do a double hip transplant. So what are they going to do when you have osteoporosis of the skull? They're going to give you a double skull transplant?
A new head, right?
A new head. So this is very basic stuff. Okay, and I guarantee you she has other symptoms, like her voice may have changed, she has trouble swallowing, that's the 9th cranial nerve being squeezed, Bell's palsy, it's the 7th cranial nerve being squeezed. And when you get up at night to urinate, the skull is squeezing the spinal cord, and the spinal cord is telling the urinary bladder to urinate. And there's 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and there's, let's see here, and also the spinal cord. And so it's all in this book. It's called It's All in Your Head. There's a CD that goes along with it. You need to get that for your sister. And get her, how much does she weigh? What's her body weight?
She weighs probably around 170, 175.
Okay. Then she needs to get rid of all the bad foods so she can absorb, okay? And we're talking about no fried foods, no air frying, no deep frying, no pan frying, absolutely no oils, no salad dressing, no cooking oils, absolutely no processed meats like ham and bacon and bologna and salami and hot dogs and let's see, pepperoni and all that kind of stuff, because they have nitrates in it, which destroy your thyroid gland. And then you also need her to stay away from gluten. No wheat, no butter, rhinos. Well, the doctor says eat more whole grains. Well, those doctors should all be put in jail, okay? Because gluten destroys your intestines, so you cannot absorb nutrition, even if you're supplementing. People say, well, it didn't work for me. I took what Wallach said, and it didn't work for me. Well, what do you eat for breakfast every morning? Oh, I have oatmeal. I've been eating oatmeal my whole life for breakfast every morning. Or the breakfast of champions, Wheaties, okay? Or buckwheat. Buckwheat doesn't have gluten in it, but it does have phagopyrines in it, F-A-G-O-pyrines, which are worse than gluten. They actually cause lupus. Lupus is caused by eating buckwheat because of phagopyrines. And then no sugar of any kind, and absolutely no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks need to go, and carbonated water and alkaline water need to go, because they neutralize stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals or digest food. Okay? Now, with all that said, and she weighs how much again?
Probably about 170, 178, okay. Somewhere around there.
Okay. She needs to have 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, full dose everything twice a day. She needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, or dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc, vertebrae, bone matrix, which includes the bone marrow, which makes white blood cells for the immune system, and platelets and red blood cells and antibodies and all that kind of stuff, so that's important. And then, let's see here, I would have her take, let's see here, does she have any high blood pressure, do you know?
No, she doesn't.
Okay. And then I want her to have 1 meal a day or a keto shake. 1 meal a day or a keto shake. It's a meal replacer. It's not to be added to a meal, and it comes in chocolate and strawberry. And she'll lose a half a pound to 2 pounds a day. And, if she needs to lose 25 or 30 or 40, 50 pounds, that'll all happen very quickly. And this tinnitus or ringing in the ear, dizziness and stuff, that stuff will all go away. But she's going to have to stay on this diet forever. She's going to have to stay on the supplement program forever. If she exercises and sweats or works in a factory and sweats, she needs to be taking a Rebout or a sports drink with 75 minerals in it. Red Bull, which we're competing with, they only have 1 mineral. They only have magnesium in it. They try to do it, let's see here.
Which is good for you. Magnesium is good for you, right?
Well, yeah, so that's only 1 mineral. You need 60.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 75 minerals. And, of course, let's see here. What's his name? Bruce Lee, who was considered in the 1960s to be the fitness guru by every country in the world. He died at age 32 of a heart attack because he only supplemented with magnesium. He said, I eat well, I get everything I need by eating well. He failed there, and that's why he died at 32.
That was a sad story. Okay, well, good luck, Lisa. And if you missed anything, call this number because they're taking notes, 1-855-949-7234. Tom takes text and tweets for Doc. Tom, what do you have for us?
Hey, Doc, this in from Carla in San Francisco. Can the doctor please talk about people getting bone spurs and what can be done about them?
Bone spurs? Probably in your feet, I guess, right,
Well,
Doc?
You get them in your heels, you get them in your fingers, you get them in your elbows, your shoulders, your vertebrae. Bone spurs can happen anywhere the tendons hook into the bones. Because if you have osteoporosis and your bones are soft, and when the muscle pulls on that tendon constantly pulling on that bone pulls a bone spur. So a bone spur is always where a tendon goes into the bone, and it's being a traction causing that spur to come out. And you have to appreciate that bones are not poured concrete. They're not hard stuff. They come and go based on what you eat, what you don't eat. And this is why people get osteoporosis of the skull. And that book is flying out the door. That's one of our best sellers right now. It's all in your head with a CD. Because there's 37 different diseases you get, including bone spurs, okay? You get dental problems. The dental arcades are a mess because they're part of the skull. And you have to put in dentures or implants, dental implants. And you get TMJ arthritis in the joint where your jaw hooks into your skull and stuff like that. It's all just simple nutritional deficiencies, and that's why we have the program. Okay? And so, again, it's 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs a month, a full dose of everything twice a day. There's 215 nutrients in our Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. 215 nutrients. Okay? No place else has anything like that.
That is packed, my friend.
Yes. And then, of course, the MSM, 3 of those with each meal. That's 2 bottles a month. The collagen peptides, it's actually collagen or cartilage and ligaments and tendons from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. And scoop of that with a morning drink, scoop of that evening drink. And then, let's see, your vitamin D3. Even if you live in Florida, most people who are adults, don't get in their bikinis and lay out in the sun for 3 hours a day. So they need our vitamin D3, 3 of those twice a day or 3 times a day. And the bone spurs will go away because the bones will rebuild themselves and pull that spur right back in. So don't submit to surgery because you can actually rebuild your bones by taking these supplements that I just suggested to you, but you cannot get from your food anymore. There was actually a big thing that took place at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, on Pearl Street, New York City, when Thomas Edison pulled a switch on electricity. And for 3,000 years before that, we were getting our minerals from the ashes. Yeah, the ashes from wood and coal. We put the ashes from wood and coal into the gardens, and they had 98% of the wood ashes and coal ashes were minerals, and the carrots and the bell peppers and the onions and cucumbers and so forth are all sucking up those minerals. We ate those vegetables. We got the minerals that way. Well, once we went to electricity, guess what? No more minerals. Because there's no ashes. And so nobody paid attention to that. And doctors said, just eat well, you get everything you need. Well, in 1936, the U.S. Senate came out with a document called U.S. Senate Document 264. This is the U.S. Senate, 1936. Our farm soils in America no longer contain enough nutritional minerals to support long and healthy human life. Because the fertilizer, commercial fertilizer, only had 3 minerals in it. You need 60. So bad that even the U.S. Senate knew something was wrong back in 1936.
Let's take another quick call, Doc, before the break with Mateo in Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome to the show. Hi, Mateo.
How you doing? Thank you for taking my call, George.
Thank you, my friend. How can we help you?
So I just was wondering what I should take. I have high blood pressure. I don't eat very well because I'm on the road. I usually stay out like 3 months at a time. And I also have I get headaches and what is it? Heartburn. Oh yeah, heartburn bad.
Okay. All right. Well, again, being on the road, you're a victim of where you're at because nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. So the only way you can get everything you need every day is to supplement with the 90 essential nutrients or supplement with the 215 nutrients.
Every day?
Every day. I've been doing it for 75 years, George. Okay, and that's why most people think I'm in my 50s when they look at me, but I'm going to be turning 84 here in a couple of months.
Until you fall in a hole.
Because I fell in a hole. Yep.
Stay out of those holes.
Yeah, all that.
All right, so he's got high blood pressure, Doc. He's got these issues. What does he do?
Okay, well, how much do you weigh, sir?
240 pounds.
240 pounds, okay. Get rid of all the bad foods. I have my book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. There's 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. Then I want you to have 2 Healthy Brain and Heart Packs, a full dose of everything twice a day. This will be forever. And then You need 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to rebuild cartilage and ligaments and tendons and connective tissue in your arteries and your veins and your muscles.
That's what the MSM does?
That's correct, because it's a sulfur compound that's specifically designed to do that. We deal with so many professional athletes, Olympic athletes, and very, very wealthy billionaires, okay? And so we came up with that program because they're not making bone broth anymore. Back in the old days, Grandma used to put the bones with vinegar on top of the wood stove at night, and in the morning everybody'd fight to get who was going to drink it because they knew it helped their bones.
Yeah, good point.
Okay? So that's why we have...
Minute to go, Doc. Go ahead.
Okay. And then the high blood pressure, he needs 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 words. Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. If you're on high blood pressure medication, do not get off of it. Do not cold turkey off of it. But as your blood pressure begins to drop, and that'll start within 2 or 3 days, the blood pressure starts coming down, you can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. Okay? This is very simple stuff. It's a nutritional deficiency disease. It's not genetic, not autoimmune. And I deal with thousands of truckers every month from all over the world. Okay, we're dealing in 80 countries. I deal with professional athletes, Olympic athletes, truckers. And so we know what's going on. We've come up with these systems to solve these problems.
Doc Wallach with us from criticalhealthnews.com. We're going to continue with calls all of next hour with Doc Wallach. The website, criticalhealthnews.com, and the toll-free number to call in case you miss anything. 1-855-949-7234, 1-855-949-RADIO. Doc Wallach from criticalhealthnews.com. In 3 weeks, pharmacist Ben Fuchs joins us, and then Doc 3 weeks after that.
A strong heart is a happy heart. Your body's systems depend on a healthy cardiovascular system to thrive. Without a healthy heart, you could experience symptoms like fatigue, aches and pains, dizziness, or shortness of breath. Proper nutrition is crucial to your cardiovascular health. Youngevity developed Ultimate EFA Plus with a proprietary balanced blend of essential fatty acids from borage, flax, and fish oils to help make sure you get the nutrients your heart needs. We started with flaxseed oil. It's been shown to improve the elasticity of arteries and support healthy blood pressure. Next, we included cold water fish oils, rich in omega-3s that can promote a healthy cardiovascular system and even increase levels of good HDL cholesterol. Then we added borage oil, known for its powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Blended together, these essential fatty acids provide you with the optimal blend of nutrients to help maintain normal cardiovascular health. Ultimate EFA Plus, the right nutrients to improve your heart health naturally. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back to Coast. Our friend and partner, Doc Wallach from criticalhealthnews.com is with us. We've got an hour of your calls to go. Next hour, the psychic cop joins us to talk about some very strange things. Chuck Bergman on Coast to Coast. And welcome back. George Norrie with you with Doc Wallach from criticalhealthnews.com. We almost set a record with his web hits last hour. Let's do it again this hour. Just go to the website and download the the Critical Health News app in the App Store. Take the Coast to Coast apps, too, and download it. Doc, this quick question in from Roberta. She says her CT arterial calcium score is 1,842. That seems high, doesn't it?
That's her calcium in her blood?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems a little high.
How do you get that down?
Okay. You need to supplement with minerals, including calcium. What happens is when your calcium is low, your parathyroid glands will pull calcium out of your bones to try and raise the level of calcium in the bones, and they tend to overreact. And so it's very common. Another thing they can do is to find out really what's going on, is to get my book, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures. Go to chapter 1011, starts out at page 272, and get a hair analysis. It tells you how to cut the hair, how to package it, where to ship it to. Don't forget to put the check in there because the lab won't run the test without it.
Right, or credit card info.
Back. Sir?
Or credit card?
Or credit card, yeah. Credit card or something like that.
Just don't mail the credit card, right?
Don't mail the credit card. No, just the number. At any rate, the whole thing is you'll get 2 charts back in about 2 weeks. One chart is the nutritional minerals, like 60 minerals, And if they're all down below the bottom line, that means you're not absorbing it because you're eating gluten and your intestines are dead. And even if you're supplementing, you can't absorb the minerals. So it's very valuable stuff. And then if everything, you're not eating gluten and so you're absorbing, your minerals should be all over the place and because you're not supplementing. And so you have some that are high, some that are low, some are just in the right place because nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. And then, of course, there's another chart for toxic metals, lead and mercury and uranium and other stuff like that. And so if you do have toxic metals, we have what's called the herbal rainforest. It has 13 cleansing herbs and 75 minerals in it. Take an ounce of that twice a day, and then in, say, a month, do another hair analysis and you'll see all those toxic metals will be down significantly or gone, okay? And so that's good. But this is something I want people to get a hair analysis like once a year. Because especially, if you're not supplementing, that means you're depending just like Bruce Lee did, who depended on, quote, a good diet, unquote, and he died at 32 of a heart attack, and he was the fitness guru, by every country in the world. And that's because he had made a miscalculation, believing falsely that he could, in fact, get everything he needs just by eating well. Can't do it.
To the phones we go. Debbie in New York to get us started. Go ahead, Deb.
Yes, George, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Dr. Wallach, I have a general question about the MRI machines, for medical tests. I had an MRI a few days ago, actually 2 days ago, and the lady said, "Oh, you're moving around." It was an MRI of my left knee. "Oh, you're moving around." I was already in the machine for 17 minutes. The test was supposed to take 25 minutes. Oh, I must have been in there close to an hour. All right, so the question is, how dangerous, in your opinion, or how safe are the MRI machines when you have a test? Because it just seems like I have a lot of cramping in my muscles because, there was a lot of, banging on the machine during the test, like banging sounds,
sure.
Like
okay.
that.
Well,
a lot of burning in my muscles. I mean, it's real what I feel. And I just wanted to know, in your opinion, how safe you think MRI machines are with the electromagnetic radiation.
Okay, stop. MRIs are 1,000 times safer than an X-ray. Okay? MRI, magnetic resonance imaging, they're magnets.
If you can handle going into that bubble.
Yeah. Well, you can stand to be in there because it's not like radiation. There's no radiation. Okay, there's no radiation. MRI is very safe. And you get pictures of things. Whereas an X-ray, you're looking at the hard tissue, whereas with an MRI, you can take an MRI of the skull and you can actually see the brain and see if it's shriveled up like a raisin or if it's normal. Do you have all the myelin where it's supposed to be, which is the white matter of the brain, which is the cholesterol in the brain, and so forth. And it's one of those things where MRI is much, much safer than an X-ray. Okay?
I can't go in those tubes, though, Doc. I just can't.
Don't do it.
I don't. I mean, I was in one once a couple of years ago. The thing's in 2 inches away from your nose.
Mm-hmm.
You're in this tube. They tell you not to move, practically not to breathe.
Mm-hmm. And it's then go play golf.
It's crazy. And I don't get claustrophobic, but, man, I couldn't take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just safer from a standpoint of radiation. Okay, and also it's much more detailed because you get to see the soft tissue internally, which you don't get to see with an X-ray. And so it just depends on what they're looking for. And to check your knees and things like that, I wouldn't choose a MRI. On a knee, I would take an X-ray because it takes you like 3 seconds. Push the button, you got to have your X-ray of your knee. Okay, and so but when you're looking at the skull and the chest and the organs in your body, I'd go with the MRI. But when you're looking for bones and joints and stuff like that, the X-ray is fine.
Let's go to Bob in Columbus, Ohio. Hey, Bob, go ahead, sir.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Sure thing.
I've learned a whole bunch just by listening to you guys this entire night, and it's great. In fact, I had questions about blood tests regarding mineral deficiencies and all that, and I learned now it's from the hair.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah, blood tests, you can only get good answers about mineral deficiencies for iron and calcium. The rest of them you can't.
Wow. Well, my particular reason for even calling is that I know for a fact I have an inflammatory problem, and it's been diagnosed as gout. My grandma, my father's mother, had gout, and her feet would swell up like an elephant.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had to go to the hospital for the first time about 5 years ago, when I'm almost 60 right now, so that was about 55 years old of age, they thought initially I had a blood clot in my leg, and they were about ready to give me blood thinning medicine that combined with gout treatment medicine would have killed me. But so then I decided to try and treat things on my own, and what I've done is try and go as gluten-free as I can. I'm not complete there. Anyways, what I'm wondering is my right foot, big toe, is turning crooked, and my left foot, toenail, is growing thicker than normal.
Let me ask you a couple of quick questions here. How many times you get up at night to urinate? Once, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times?
Well, here's the thing, is I have an abnormal sleep schedule in and of itself, where sometimes I'll get 2 hours of sleep, sometimes 5 hours of sleep. Sometimes the urination is very frequent, where I'm already awake, so I'm not getting up to do it. And other times, but I'd say on a 24-hour basis, probably urinating more frequently than normal.
Okay, stop there. All right, and then do you have any tinnitus or ringing in the ears?
No, but I have noticed recently that my hands are starting to become affected, where, like, when I am in the middle of the night or sleep, whenever it is, or whenever I get up from sleep, that my right hand is hard to grip, and I have to kind of flex my hand like it was asleep.
Okay. So how many, let's see here, do you have to use a cane or a walker or anything like that? Do you have any vertigo or dizziness or balance problems?
No, I have nothing. These are what I consider to be, hopefully, just the beginning of a problem that we can, reduce or
tackle.
Fix.
Okay, one more question. Have you had a voice change? Do you have trouble swallowing or lose your sense of taste?
Well, actually, that's very curious that you mentioned that. No, except for, and I pretty much quarantined myself and my family of 4 in our house during the pandemic. And my wife is a teacher, and eventually other people were in her school that she worked directly face-to-face with that got COVID, and she brought it home in August, and I got COVID. She had a temperature of 104. Another son of mine who's 26 got 103-degree temperature.
Okay,
when I got
apologize.
I didn't get any
interrupt
temperature.
You, but we got to stay on the subject here.
Well, I lost my sense of taste and smell a month after I got COVID.
Okay. So it's one of those things where you may have osteoporosis of the skull, and you said your grandmother had what disease?
Well, she had gout and diabetes such that she lost her eyesight.
Yeah. Well, none of those things are genetic. None of them are autoimmune. My thesis for 20,000 autopsies is in the Smithsonian Institute as a national treasure because I proved there are no genetically transmitted diseases, there are no autoimmune diseases where your body attacks itself. That's all nonsense. Doctors just said that when they didn't know the answer because they didn't want to say, I don't know. So they said, it's your genes and it's your body attacking itself. So that's all nonsense, okay? When you are talking about diabetes, it's a simple nutritional deficiency. You have high blood pressure, it's a simple nutritional deficiency. You have arthritis, it's a simple nutritional deficiency. You have gout. This means you're taking some bad stuff, and so there's inflammation there, and you accumulate stuff in your joints, okay? And so basically, and how much do you weigh?
I'm 60 years old, and I used to weigh 160, and I used to eat a lot of chocolate candy. When I had my big gout attack 5 years ago, I stopped that because I thought that was a trigger. Okay. And so now I reduced that.
Okay, so you weigh 160 pounds, correct?
No, I'm about 140, 135, depending on the day.
So none of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, with no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even the diet ones, and the carbonated water and alkaline water need to go. And then I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, full dose of everything twice a day, 2 bottles of MSM, so you can take it 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, skin, artery walls, vein walls, anything made out of connective tissue, including the valves in your heart and all that kind of stuff. And then I want you to take the collagen peptides. Go ahead and take a scoop of that in your morning drink, scoop of the evening drink. That's collagen from fish, poultry, sheep, and beef. And then, let's see here, I do want you to take our high blood pressure protocol here. That's 2 bottles a month of our Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to support healthy blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the lungs, the liver, the kidneys. And that's going to be good for you. And also with all the stuff you got going on, it wouldn't hurt for you to get that book, Rare Herbs and Cures. Go to chapter 1011, page 272. Get that hair analysis. Tells you where to send the sample, how to collect it, how to package it, where to ship it. Don't forget to put the check in there because the lab won't run the test without it. And it'll tell you if you have toxic metals. It'll tell you where all your nutritional minerals are at, okay? If you're missing any, or some are low, some are high, or they're all in the right place. You need that information, and you cannot get that information from a blood test, okay? And so with that program, this shows results very quickly, and we do this literally thousands of times a week all over the world. We're in 80 countries. We deal with professional athletes. We deal with billionaires. We deal with Olympic athletes. And so we deal with really, really high-intensity people that need the information ASAP. So we're used to doing this. Okay?
Texts and tweets for you, Doc. What do we have, Tom?
Doc, in from Karina in Phoenix. What's your advice for a person with arteriosclerosis and a calcium score over 1,300? What can they take?
Okay, well, they need to get rid of all the bad foods. And, again, get that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. They get 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods. And there's no safe form of frying. Air frying, you're heating the fat in the meat to frying temperatures, and that's causing problems. Okay, so there's no air frying, no deep frying, no pan frying, no oils, no salad dressing, no cooking oils, absolutely none of the bad stuff, no gluten, no wheat, brown, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks of any kind, including carbonated water. And then per 100 pounds of body weight, they need 1 healthy brain and heart pack per month. And you said high blood pressure, is that correct?
Go ahead, Doc.
Okay. And so they need let's see here, the MSM, 2 bottles a month, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, at dinner time. And then the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 of those twice a day. That's going to help with the blood flow through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the kidneys, and so forth. And let's go there. This little recipe turns things around pretty quick.
Next up, we go to Mary in New Jersey. We'll squeeze you in, Mary, before the break. Go ahead.
Hello, George. Hello, Doc. This is in the past. It's not current, but a bone marrow transplant. Does the donor have to match the blood? Have to match?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When you're having a bone marrow transplant, everything has to match, okay? And, of course, why? Is this for yourself or a family member? Who's supposed to?
It was a family member, but, that's a long time ago. Deceased.
Oh, okay.
But
Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, a bone marrow transplant will usually be used for somebody who has osteoporosis of their bones and they have need of some healthy defense, okay? They're looking for the immune system to be working. And, of course, it's the bone marrow, which makes white blood cells, which go and kill and eat cancer cells and go and kill and eat viruses and bacteria and fungus and yeast and so forth. So it's very important. Most people never get to see their bone marrow, but it's a very important part of their body and their immune system and their life. And it requires the 90 essential nutrients to make your bones healthy and normal and to be able to make normal bone marrow so the bone marrow can make white blood cells and make antibodies and make platelets and make red blood cells and stuff like that. And so when somebody needs a bone marrow transplant, that means to me that they had really severe osteoporosis and so that the bone marrow is all dead, okay? And that's why they wanted to give them a bone marrow transplant. And I would just say, rather than do all that, give me 90 days rather than do a bone marrow transplant, because there's all kinds of possible terrible things that can happen with transplanting and viruses and stuff like that. And so give me 90 days. And, of course, I'd give the 90 essential nutrients. I'd do the MSM, the collagen peptides, and the vitamin D3 kind of thing. And we do this, like I say, thousands of times a month. We're in 80 countries. We do this all over the world, and we have such great success, testimony after testimony after testimony. And we've been doing this for 75 years. So we have a lot of experience, and that's why my new book, The Wallach Revolution, is selling like crazy. And it goes 75 years of our great discoveries. We have so many discoveries and so many well-known people, such as Pat Boone and Danny Glover and Andy Young and Theo Ratliff and Evander Holyfield. All these famous people are telling their stories in there, how they use our program to solve their problems that other doctors couldn't solve.
Ted wants to know about Tangy Tangerine 2.5. What's the difference between that and 2.0?
There's more nutrients.
More goodies, huh?
More goodies. There's more nutrients and also higher doses.
All right, we're going to come back in a moment and take final calls with Doc Wallach from criticalhealthnews.com. That's the website to go to. Take a peek at it. Hope you like it. And here's that number to call for assistance, 1-855-949-7234. Next hour, the psychic cop Chuck Bergman joins us. Fascinating discussion how he's been able to help police with victims and things solving crimes with his psychic abilities. We'll talk with him about that and so much more next hour on Coast to Coast. And welcome back to our final segment. Doc Wallach with us from criticalhealthnews.com. In 3 weeks, pharmacist Ben Fuchs joins us. Then Doc will join us sometime after that. That would put you probably the end of April, right around there, Doc?
Sounds good to me.
My gosh, as the months, as we started off, just keep clicking by faster and faster and faster. Do you get involved in any social issues on your radio shows?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes we get involved with what's going on in communities and so forth. We are invited to participate and to solve problems.
Let's go back to the phones. Next up, let us go to Eric in Indiana. Welcome to the program. Hey, Eric.
Hello, George. Hello, Doc Wallach.
Hi there.
How are you guys today?
Everybody's good. How about you?
Good. I'm great. Hey, I got a question about women losing, hair thinning and stuff. What can a woman do to keep from losing all of her hair? Because my wife's been thinning for a long time.
Okay. Actually, we have a program for that, for both men and women. And let's see here. How much does your wife weigh? Does she have any other issues like diabetes or high blood pressure or arthritis?
Yeah, she's got diabetes and high blood pressure, and she weighs about 250, and she's probably about 5 foot tall.
Okay. All right. So she needs to get rid of all the bad foods. This is essential. She's got to get rid of fried food. She's got to get rid of oils, like salad dressing and cooking oils. Got to get rid of processed meats like ham and bacon, bologna, salami, that kind of stuff. She needs to get rid of gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, oats, because that prevents her from efficiently absorbing the nutrients, which leads her to eat more frequently, looking for stuff, and so that's why she gains weight. Then she also needs to stay away from buckwheat. It's worse than gluten. She needs to stay away from sugar, and she needs to stay away from carbonated drinks, including diet drinks and also carbonated drinks like water, carbonated water.
Like tonic water.
Yeah, the carbonated water will neutralize stomach acids so you cannot absorb minerals or digest food, so that's a bad thing. Then we want her at 200 pounds to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. Full dose of everything twice a day. Then she needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM, take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And they're going to help her support maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone makes bone itself, including the bone marrow to make white blood cells to go and kill and eat viruses and bacteria and fungus and yeast and stuff. And then we want her to also have the, let's see here, hair, skin, and nails. I wanted to get 3 bottles of that per month. They're small bottles, so I wanted to get 3 bottles a month, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, and dinner time. And it's the raw materials necessary for healthy skin, hair growth, and so forth. The collagen peptides will help with that also. The MSM will help with that also. But she has to absorb nutrition, so she's got to stay away from the bad stuff, especially the gluten, the wheat, the barley, the rye, and oats. She cannot have oatmeal for breakfast. She cannot have buckwheat. She cannot have the breakfast of champions. If she's going to drink beer, it's got to be rice beer from either Australia or some Asian country. She cannot eat, the American beers made from wheat kind of thing. And then, let's see here. Oh, then also for the skin, I want her to take the, the extra minerals. She needs to take the extra minerals, and she can either just rub a couple ounces on her belly twice a day, about like a half a teacup full of the liquid plant mineral on her belly. That'll help her with the skin problems as well. And then she won't have to drink so many minerals because she can just put them on her belly. And it's almost like IV. It's absorbed almost like instantly, and it goes IV and it goes all over the place, including the skin. But this is very simple stuff. Because she has diabetes and high blood pressure, she also needs 2 bottles a month of our sweeties, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch.
You got her on a lot of stuff, Doc.
Well, I take, let's see here, I go through my 2, I only weigh 142, and I take 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month. I take 45 other bottles of our nutrients. I'll take 3 out of each one, and I'll take all those pills, tablets, and capsules twice a day, in addition to my liquids.
Now, don't you recommend that people want to cut their costs down to be a distributor, where they can then get it at wholesale?
Well, if you're a preferred customer, you get it for wholesale. If you get an auto ship, even as a preferred customer, you get an auto ship. I will pay the shipping for you. Okay. And, of course, when you become a distributor, an associate, we call them, an associate, we actually have a program where you can get a certificate, as and be a health coach. And this gives you a lot of credibility. But at any rate, it's one of those things where you take these nutrients and it gives your body what it needs to be happy. Okay, now, you'll add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life by taking all these nutrients. And again, you're going to pay wholesale for them. And then, if you're building a business, you get customers and so forth, I will send you a check every month based on the volume you create. Okay, and then if you're running this out of your home, you get tax deductions. Okay, let's say you're using 25% of your floor space in your house for your office, your little warehouse, in your meeting room. Well, guess what? You're getting a deduction, 25% of your mortgage, 25% of your homeowner's insurance, 25% of your utilities. You're going to get back thousands of dollars at the end of the year in tax refunds just because you're running the business out of your home.
All right, here's the information on that. That's go to criticalhealthnews.com. And again, Eric, that toll-free number to call, because I'm sure you may have missed some of the things Doc talked about, 1-855-949-7234. 1-855-949-RADIO. Next up, Jeremy in North Dakota. Welcome to the show. Hey, Jeremy.
Hello, George. I'd like to ask the wise Dr. Wallach if he can tell me what the difference is between egg beaters and regular eggs out of a shell.
Okay, well, egg beaters are just made out of oil. Okay, and you kind of scramble it, kind of like they're not really eggs. They don't have the cholesterol in it that eggs do. And so I'd stay away from the egg beaters, okay? You want real eggs. 3 eggs twice a day. That's going to give you enough cholesterol to maintain your brain and your spinal cord. And also, it's one of those things where cholesterol is required so you don't get Alzheimer's disease, MS, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's disease, which is multiple sclerosis with tremors. And then there's a new one, which just came out some years ago, which Bruce Willis has, is the, let's see
that
here.
Frontal lobe.
Yeah, FTD, frontal temporal dementia. It's kind of like a localized Alzheimer's disease.
And I guess his career is over now, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, no, he's retired and so forth. We're trying to communicate with his family because I can rebuild him. I can get his brain back. It'll give me 90 days. He'll be back to his perfect self. Okay, but I guarantee you he's on some statin drugs to lower his cholesterol. He's been told to not eat eggs and fatty meats and stuff like that. And so he did exactly as the doctor said, and that's why he has FTD.
How do you come down with that?
Well, you see, when you have FTD, the cholesterol in your brain is gone. And 25% of your brain weight is cholesterol. And I would also throw in for this guy and for, Bruce Willis, our I-26. It says right on the label. Now, this freaks people out. It says right on the label. It gives you 25% of your daily requirement of cholesterol. There's no other product on the market anywhere in the world which says anything like that.
That sells cholesterol.
Yeah,
exactly.
We're selling cholesterol because it makes up 25% of your brain weight, 25% of your spinal cord weight, and it's one of those things where it's good for your skin, it's good for your liver. You need cholesterol. Cholesterol is so important, and you don't want to be like Bruce Willis and have FTD. You don't want to be like so many Americans who have Alzheimer's disease and MS. Doctors made a terrible mistake 100 years ago when they blamed cholesterol on plugged arteries, and that created a monster against humanity.
Let's take a few more calls, and then we're out of time, Doc. Let's go to Wynn in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Wynn, welcome to the program.
Thank you, George.
Thank you.
And thank you, Doc. This kind of program is really good. I just wanted to share a couple of things with you. Let's start from the present. I work full-time. I'm a painter. I'm a writer. I'm doing a children's book.
Oh, good for you.
90. And I usually get mistaken, as you do, Doc, for 70. I get taken to 70, but I have 3 kids, 65, 64, and 59.
Wow.
Now, I
stay... How old are you? Are you in your 80s or 90s?
I'm hitting 90 next month.
Good for you. You don't sound like it, Wynn.
Well, that's what people say. They think I'm in my 70s. I've never had a drink, never had a cup of coffee, never had a cigarette, never had any drugs. I eat the same food every day. I have, and Doc, you're not going to like this one, but since 70 years ago, I've had the same breakfast of shredded wheat, bananas, berries, honey, wheat germ, etc., plus yogurt, plus several other things. During the day, trail mix, and at night, listen to this one. I only do a burger and spinach. Period.
With the bread?
Vanilla.
Interesting diet. Well, it works for him, Doc.
Well, it's one of those things where you're getting enough nutrition so that you're going around the damage you're getting from all that wheat and oats and all that kind of stuff, because you are getting some damage to your intestines. There's no escaping that. And so you must be either supplementing a lot or eating the right foods. But eating eggs is important. 3 eggs twice a day. Get that cholesterol, keep your brain going. And there's Jimmy Carter. I don't want to talk about his politics, but he just turned 98, and he's been eating grits every morning, for 97 and a half years.
He's in hospice now at home, huh?
Well, see, the doctors say, look, Jimmy, you're 98 years old. If you have a heart attack, you're going to die, because by the time we get the ambulance out there and blah, 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 you're going to die. So let's put you in hospice in a hospital, so if you have a heart attack, we can save you.
Well, he's home now.
Well, yeah, he said shove it. He told him to shove it. I'm not going to a hospital. I'm just going to stay at home. I don't need you guys.
If he's going to go, that's where he wants to go.
Yeah, and of course, he's 30 years older than any of those doctors. He's 30 years older than any of those doctors.
At least.
He's doing fine.
At least. Okay, Wynn, good luck. Keep doing what you're doing. It's working for you. Next up, we go to Kimberly in Los Angeles. Welcome to the show. Hey, Kim, go ahead.
Hi, okay. Thanks for taking my call. I'm so excited to get through. Okay, so here's the thing. I was having heart palpitations at night. And it was like, for the last 2 months, it was pounding, and I was like, what is going on? So I got to the doctor to do blood tests, and then he said I'm pre-diabetic. In 5 points, I'll be diabetic. Also, I have high blood sugar, and then high cholesterol.
Okay. How many times do you wake up at night to urinate? 1, 3 times, 5 times?
It depends on the night, but a lot. Yes.
Okay. 3 to 5 times?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any tinnitus, any ringing in the ears?
No.
Okay. But you do have an irregular heartbeat?
Only at night.
And you lay down?
Yes. When
could be electrical, Doc.
Well, she actually has osteoporosis of the skull. squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, which is the vagus nerve, which controls the rate and rhythm of the heart. It's not a heart problem. Okay, and she has diabetes and high blood pressure, correct?
Go ahead, Doc, please.
Okay, so she needs to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, none of the bad foods, none of the grains, wheat, butter, rye, and oats, none of that kind of stuff. She needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, full dose of everything twice a day. She needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM, so she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And then I want her to take our Synaptive, 2 bottles a month of that, so she can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at dinner time, so the brain cells can talk to each other. If she does have blood sugar problems, she needs to take her Sweeties 3 twice a day. If she's on blood sugar medicine, so she's pre-diabetic, don't cold turkey off of that, but as the blood sugar begins to drop, she can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. Same way with the blood pressure, the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets, 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month, and that will help her maintain healthy blood pressure and also get blood flowing through blocked arteries in the brain, the heart, the kidneys. And if she's on medication for blood pressure issues, don't cold turkey off of that, but as the blood pressure begins to get better, she can slowly reduce the medication based on the numbers. And she has a very common picture here in America. And these are all nutritional deficiencies. And, of course, the medical doctors say, this is genetic, it's autoimmune, your body's attacking itself, and all that kind of stuff. Well, that's why my thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute as a Natural Treasure. In 2011, I got the Klaus Schwartz Award for that, kind of like the Nobel Prize in Biochemistry. I also, in 2015, from the United Nations, they gave me a Lifetime Achievement Award for that, for finding those things. And, again, my thesis is in the Smithsonian Institute as a Natural Treasure. I'm very, very proud of that. And it's one of those things where this book, The Wallach Revolution, it covers 75 years of some of the great discoveries that we've made on health. Got rid of cystic fibrosis, got rid of muscular dystrophy, made Jerry Lewis happy, got rid of sudden death syndrome, where doctors were saying the mothers are laying on the babies and suffocating them. They said that for years and years and years of simple nutritional deficiencies. I had to sue the FDA in federal court 8 times. My attorney, Jonathan Ward, and I did that 8 times on that one subject. We got the nutrients put into the baby formulas, and cystic fibrosis, the bad birth defect went away, muscular dystrophy went away, and sudden death syndrome went away, all because we got that nutrient put into the baby formula. So we're very proud of that.
Doc, want to thank you again for spending some time with us. Talk to you in 6 weeks.
God bless you, George, you and Tom and the team. We can't thank you enough for everything. You're doing great work to save humanity. We're so very proud to be associated with you. God bless.
You too. Doc Wallach from criticalhealthnews.com. That's the website to go to whenever you want to. And also you can call this number anytime. 1-855-949-7234. Up next, Chuck Bergman joins us, the Psychic Cop.